more episodes of the Games4all podcast, please check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/Games4all. And you can like us on Facebook, just search for Games4all podcast. Games4all is brought to you by iPage. For more affordable and greener web hosting, check out ipage.com. Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 38. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie, but in celebration of how I'm feeling, you can call me Rufus Puck.
Okay. Good.
Rough as
yeah, I get it. It's funny. So, okay. So this week, things are going to be a little bit different. We've got a bit of a different episode this week. We're not going to be doing the what we've been playing section that we normally would do in light of recent events.
Yeah, because I've been playing so much. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame.
Oh, never mind. A lot of big developments have happened this week, and for anyone who doesn't know, the game publisher Activision released their financial results for 2010 last week, and they reported a fourth quarter loss of $233 million.
That was a bit careless of them.
A little bit, yeah. But despite things like Black Ops, StarCraft 2 and World of Warcraft Cataclysm selling ridiculous amounts of units.
Yeah.
But as a result of this ridiculous amount of money being lost, several franchises have been deemed unprofitable, namely Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, the Tony Hawk series, which we call Tony Hawk, we kind of knew wasn't really going anywhere.
I'm surprised they've been making them for so long.
Yeah. And as a result of that, I mean, they've shut down 7 development studios working on those particular games. Obviously, it's affecting a lot of people's jobs have been lost, and the franchises obviously are suffering. But of course, the end user, the gamer, also suffers. But
that one guy who bought the last Tony Hawk game,
yeah, he suffered.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the moment, the main statement is that the games have been just sort of put on hold, at least for this year, and the fate is kind of still undetermined. But I think everyone's kind of the opinion that it's pretty much done deal. Guitar Hero is finished, which is fucked up. I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon to itself. So yeah. At one point there was going to be a movie.
I know.
How weird was that? Yeah, that's definitely not happening. But I mean, lots of jobs have been lost. A quarter of the workers at Vicarious Visions, which is another studio that ports Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk games for the Wii and DS, have lost their jobs. The original creators of Guitar Hero and current developers of Rock Band Harmonix have made a comment saying that they're sad that the news of the series has been axed, but is assuring gamers that Rock Band still has a future despite Harmonix switching hands recently. They were offloaded by Viacom for about $50 a few weeks ago. It begs the question, is the music game genre no longer profitable? Does this represent a trend in video games and consumer electronics? And what other trends and genres could we see disappear next? So we're going to have a bit of a discussion.
Wow, that was impressive, just coming off the top of your head.
Yeah, it's not
like that, Dan.
Not like I wrote it down.
No.
So we have a special guest on the show this week, which is something we don't really do. But a good friend of the show, Mr. Darrell Pringle, is going to join us in a discussion. And yeah. I mean, Darrell?
Yeah, I'm not special.
Okay. Well, anyway, basically speaking, you have a very strong opinion on what's going on. I mean, is it safe to say that you class yourself as a non-gamer?
Yeah, I'm one of those horrible casual gamers.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with casual gaming unless you're like into Farmville.
Well, I'm a hardcore casual gamer. Is that possible?
Oh yeah, it's a thing. Yes, that exists. That's a thing. That's a real thing.
Yeah, that exists, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we just made it up. It's all right. So,
what's the sort of casual gamers who are perfectly normal during the day but wear latex and gimp masks?
That does sound like Darrell, actually. Yeah. Sorry, dude. So, how has this news affected you personally? Because you claim to be this non-gamer, but like,
I'm still crying about it. Just when you were saying then Guitar Hero's finished, I was like, no, don't say that.
Yeah, so
they get laid off from their jobs. I don't care about that. They can get new jobs. I can't get Guitar Hero from anywhere else.
There's always car beats.
car boots, play the same game over and over.
But haven't you been doing that already with Guitar Hero?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, there's lots of points for and against. Obviously, Guitar Hero is really, really popular, but not as popular as it once was, and the whole music game genre there has been a big dip in its popularity, and I think obviously Viacom realised it.
The other day, though, Dan, I think that's the way they've handled it, because they've been focusing on like sort of releasing new songs and not actually doing anything with the game as such, have they?
No, I mean that's pretty much been it. He's been bring out a new game every year, bunch of downloadable songs for it. Maybe bring out like I think this year we've seen Guitar Hero Van Halen and Guitar Hero 6 or 7 or whatever it was, Warriors of Rock. And for those people who spent that hard-earned money, probably do feel a bit cheated now that there is going to be no more downloadable songs after February, after this month. Same for DJ Hero. I mean, I'm one of the mugs who bought a fucking plastic turntable. Fucking 85 quid. Right.
I did think about it, but no, even I didn't go that far.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, how I laughed.
Yeah, fuck you. But still, like, I can put DJ Hero on and I can kind of enjoy it for what it is. It isn't Guitar Hero. It's not this amazing thing. But at the same time, it does have its followers. It does have, people do like it. I mean, I'm reading on Twitter all the time about people who are, saying, DJ Hero 2 is the shit and whatever, and I'm like, well, it's good.
I'm sure you're reading it right.
Yeah, I might be paraphrasing that there. But it does have its followers. It definitely has, people who are as gutted about the Guitar Hero news as, they are DJ Hero. So, it seems a weird move, but in some ways you can kind of, it's to be expected. If they literally sat down and said, right, here's the figures, Guitar Hero is actually not making us any money, they must spend a fortune producing these plastic instruments, and although they will be marked up, they will be if you bought them, they're going to make money off of it. But I guess what I'm saying is they're producing a lot of these instruments, but a lot of people are using the old instruments they've already got and just buying the new game, and they're probably making a massive loss on the actual instruments themselves. So
so that's the fault in their strategy then. Like exactly. I was saying to you the other day, I think what they should have done was been on like a 24-month cycle rather than every 12 months. Yeah. And not only that, they should have focused on maybe making better quality instruments.
Yeah.
Like the DJ Hero, you could get, was it a premium sort of, I don't know what they called it, was it Renegade Edition or something like that?
I think it just had a stand.
Did it? No, yeah. I thought it was like a bit better quality though. It had like metal sort of knobs.
I think there's it's like an aesthetic thing more than anything else. I don't think it was actually better made, but it was like it came in a case and you had a stand and that was about it. I don't think it was anything too special.
I would have liked to have seen them, if they'd made better quality instruments basically, and you could sort of upgrade them rather than buying a whole bloody new band kit every year.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a sound strategy. Then just release a game, because then at least you're only focusing on software development. Like you say, they're not spending all that money on, instruments and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I think there was a better strategy in there somewhere, but they were just trying to fleece everybody with the same game every year.
There's a lot of other developers out there who are trying to make these kind of games and compete with those two main franchises. Now, is there the point in doing it now for them?
Wow.
Because they'll never be as big as Guitar Hero.
I didn't know Rock Band was carrying on, so I'm happy about that. That's cheered me up a bit. Yeah. Because after Harmonix was sold, I thought, that was it. No more gaming industry to, music games whatsoever. But I haven't heard of any of the smaller titles, to be honest. Like I say, I'm not a gamer, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
these guys are developing. But
I think the reason Harmonix still has some value. Is down to maybe like Dance Central and things like that. Because obviously they make that as well.
That's a good game. I hate dancing, but I mean that's a very well made game.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it sold a lot of units, and there's talk of Dance Central 2. So obviously,
I like it.
Yeah,
I can't dance for shit, but I think your asses.
Yeah, no, it is a good game, and I think that has helped them kind of stay afloat, if you know what I mean. Rock Band has been losing its appeal a little bit. I think the fact that they added an extra instrument this year, I mean, for starters, if I'm honest, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock was a better game this year. That it was a better game overall. You know, it had better songs on it. Rock Band 3 kind of was a little bit phony. It had you know, fucking Amy Winehouse songs on it and shit you just don't really want on a disc, right?
You don't really want it in your house.
Exactly, right? So, but the thing is, it's like, oh, we've added keyboard now, so you can play it, but like barely half the songs actually have keyboard parts. So, then you know they've not tried to shoehorn them into songs where there's no keyboards. But if that is your thing, you've gone out, you've bought that, you know, peripheral for that reason, you're going to be quite disappointed because half the songs you can't play on keyboard.
I was going to say that's a shame because I did actually like the idea of that peripheral and I didn't know about that.
This whole situation does beg the question: is, you know, do we see these trends in gaming? You know, what could go next? What is the next thing that ain't going to be profitable? You know.
Well, there has been like a trend recently of everybody knows the market's pretty screwed at the moment. What with global recession and everything, and a lot of game studios have been cut and games have been cancelled and done all this. I think this is just the highest profile series.
I think another game on the list was True Crime, which is a game that's not even out yet. They've already cancelled it.
But I think this just kind of like hammers at home how bad things are getting at the moment and how tough times might be.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Don't we go through trends like that all the time though? I don't know, gaming seems to reach a peak and then it sort of disappears again. Like when I was younger, obviously I played the NES, the SNES, you know, the Sega Master System. Yeah. But then it sort of it fell away, and then it was the PlayStation generation. And like I missed out on the PlayStation generation, to be honest. You know, 'cause, like I say, I really do love casual games. And like when the Wii come back, I mean that was a massive return to sort of casual gaming.
Yeah.
And now with mobile devices, they sort of started, you know, they suddenly appeared, like on the iPhone in particular, hundreds of millions of devices now with casual games. And, you know, the Kinects, they're all trying to compete against the Wii because it was so huge. So now the Wii's falling away. It just seems to sort of, I don't know, the gaming market, it seems to rise and fall all the time, I think. I don't know if it's just one of those cases.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, it's had a good run. I mean, you think the original Guitar Hero came out probably like 10 years ago now, so it's had a decade of you know, I mean, it's made a lot of money. Obviously not this year, but like, you know, it's done well and probably took off better than Harmonix would have ever expected it to. But you know, for a while now, I've been thinking that the days of the music game have kind of been numbered. You know, I mean, like I said, the games they release year in and year out are pretty much exactly the same. There's no innovation in the games. I mean, you mentioned to me the other day with Facebook that, you know, maybe if they tried new ideas like integrating Kinect somehow into it and things like that.
Absolutely, there's loads of things they could have done. That's what I mean. I'm sure I buy the idea that they have to die because I mean, you know, movies they're the same, but I mean, the industry, you know, has lasted over 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing can happen with guitars and stuff like that, but they just need to actually innovate and do something new with it and not sell the same game every year.
Yeah.
I mean, with Kinect, you could have done, I don't know, loads of stuff. You know, power-ups, bloody air guitar, face recognition. You know, you had gestures, voice control.
Yeah, there's a lot of work into it.
That's what I mean. There's loads of things they could have done, and especially with connecting, you know, making it easier to connect with like random people or friends or whatever, you know, using the sort of cloud element of it.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff they could have done, but they were just being lazy, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Set in their ways a bit too much. They thought, oh, it's a cash cow, it's making enough money, we'll just keep going.
Easy money, but it's actually got them into trouble, yeah.
Yeah, true. I mean, the only thing with maybe putting, like, development time and money and resources into something for Kinect is that although there are 8 million Kinects sold currently in people's homes, you are still only tailoring to people that have Xbox 360s. What about the PS3 owners? What about the Wii owners? You know,
I know. Well, I absolutely love the Kinect, but I've got to admit I haven't really used it much because there just isn't software support yet.
Yeah, it's still early days, and there was a lot that came out at launch, but it has slowed down quite a lot. You know.
It's sort of disappeared, but I mean, I love the potential of the Kinect. You know, I love Kinect Adventures. I think that's a really sort of great game. I'd love to see more games like that, which take advantage of like the whole body. If you were sort of if you could do like a side scroller, you know, where you run to run and you sort of jump to jump. I mean, I love those sort of games.
Yeah.
But just seen nothing like that at all yet from Kinect. There's been absolutely nothing, has there? Not that I know of.
No, not really. I mean, it's a little off topic, but like I think the more interesting stuff coming from, you know, Kinect being out in the wild is the hack stuff that people are doing on their PCs, being able to play Call of Duty or, you know, Dead Space 2 or something with Kinect and like a Wii remote. You know, I mean, that's the stuff that's going to push developers to try and, you know, do something like that. Oh, it can be done. Such and such did it in their front room with their PC, you know.
Yeah, that's literally all I've seen about the Kinect is the hack side of things. Now you mention it, like on Gadget every other week, you know, there's tons of stories about Kinect hacks, but yeah, no official releases.
Yeah, well, let's just hope that Kinect itself isn't just one of those trends that kind of fades out and they turn around and say, hey, you know, we've sold our 8 million, now we're not making so much money off of it, we're going to stop production on it, you know.
I'm sorry if this is a bit off topic again, but like, I don't know, I was saying to you before Christmas, there's a driving game on Kinect. I forgot, is it Joyride?
Yeah, Kinect Joyride, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that game. 'Cause, like, I don't know, I was saying, like, I feel like completely fucking stupid trying to steer a car with my hands. You know what? It just didn't work for me.
I don't think it was so bad. I think the boosting thing was a problem. It didn't always recognise that and
work.
Yeah. But you can. The fact remains, there's that video of that guy who just sits there with his arms out and it controls.
That is exactly. That's what it felt like to me, Dan. Honestly, I felt I had no control over it whatsoever.
I get
that. It made me think. I would love it if they did a sort of proper mix and match environment where, because I think the Wii Mario Kart is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
The peripheral, having that in your hands, obviously makes it a bit more realistic.
Yeah, true.
It measures your input and your movement perfectly, and like if they could match the two technologies, that would be heaven for me. Like the Wii and Kinect together.
Yeah.
So you can play those racing games and get that perfect experience, and then you can do sort of power ups and boosts with your hands or feet or whatever as well. But yeah, that's one of those games that really didn't work for me on the Kinect, I've got to say.
Okay. Well, we need to try and get a little bit back on topic. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, it's all interesting stuff, but like, you know, casual games, like you say, in the last 5 years, I mean, we didn't have things like Farmville and all that bullshit. No. But like, you know, sorry, it's just my opinion.
It's mine too. Yeah, okay. Fucking hate Farmville.
It's a lot of people's opinions, but still, you know, people, you know, you can't argue with the amount of people playing that.
Right, if you send me a Mafia request, you're getting fucking taken off my Facebook list. That's a warning to everybody. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like,
there has been like a rise in popularity of like casual and indie games.
Yeah.
More. I mean, I've seen last year in particular, the most innovative games were like the arcade titles and the
downloadable games.
Games.
Definitely. Well, I agree with that. I mean,
do you think there's going to be like a trend where it's like the big name games
are going to fizzle out?
Yeah, and there'll be like one or two big AAA titles.
I mean, let's be honest. As much as I like first-person shooters and Call of Duty and all that, it is getting really stale. And I think obviously, you know, they're going to eke out as long as possible. Call of Duty's still making loads of money. They released a map pack the other week that sold 1.4 million downloads in the first 24 hours. You know, and that's just on Xbox because it's only been released on Xbox. So,
but again, there've been a new Call of Duty title every year.
Yeah,
for the last how many?
It's Activision's way, though.
Yeah,
it's how they do things. Every year, it's a new.
I heard people they were sort of worried that, you know, Call of Duty would be next. You know, I did read a lot of that when I was sort of reading about Guitar Hero. They were all saying, you know, is Call of Duty next? Because yeah, like you say, it's exactly the same pattern. It's the same game every year.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, I mean. What you can't argue with though on that is the fact that it is like literally when that game was launched, it was the biggest selling thing ever, like in entertainment history. It sold more copies than anything. It's probably sold more copies than the Bible. I don't know, but like I mean, I know it probably fucking has by now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
dude,
what?
Seriously, that was a bit.
No, it's not below the belt. Anyway,
no, that's true. I mean, we haven't got a Bible in this house, and. Got Call of Duty, and you know I'm a casual gamer, so yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'd stick.
So there you go. I mean, you know, it sold so well despite being the same kind of recycled game essentially. You know, I mean, I enjoy Black Ops. I do enjoy Call of Duty games, but when you boil it down, the core elements are exactly the same every time.
I would play it if, and I know it'll piss you off and like hardcore gamers and that sort of stuff, but I don't play Call of Duty, but I would play it if they combined it with the input sort of mechanisms from the casual games. I'd love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a bit more like Laser Quest.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can get Call of Duty 4 for the Wii, and, you know, I've played that, and it does take a little bit getting used to, but it is quite fun being able to play that game, which is a good game.
It's like a hardcore duck shoot.
Yeah, it is hardcore duck shoot, exactly. Yeah. You know, the whole thing, it's sad that people are losing their jobs. I mean, I know Darrell doesn't give a shit, but like, it is sad that people who work really hard on these games, maybe not hard enough because, you know, they're not making money, but, you know, like...
Hey, can I just say, I do care about their jobs.
Okay.
That was a joke. Yeah.
You're not a total bastard then.
No.
Cool. You know, it was a shock to read the news that, you know, Guitar Hero is like is a high profile thing. You know, it gets advertised on TV every time a new one comes out. There's a bit, you know, you walk into a game store, there's posters and all kinds of shit up for it, and do you know what I mean?
It's a Christmas event.
It is, you know, and obviously, like, you know, even though you call yourself the casual game, you still enjoy it. I mean, you enjoy Guitar Hero, and now you don't have that. You know, is it just gonna? Are you just gonna kind of not bother with gaming now? Because I mean, other than like maybe casual things on the iPhone or iPad or anything like that, you know.
I don't think it's that important, but it's just a complete genre that, you know, you're going to lose. Well, unless harmonics keep up and, you know, they keep what's it called, Rock Band going.
Yeah. What's it called?
I mean, I've never personally played Rock Band, so I'm going to get into that now. Obviously, that Guitar Hero's fallen by the way.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Rock Band's days could be totally number two. They've got. I mean, the reason they sold for $50 or $60 a few weeks back now was because they had, when they were bought, their company came with a lot of debt based off of the fact that they still owed royalties for DLC songs and things like that. So, is that company going to be making a lot of money? Who knows? You know, maybe this sort of thing with Activision has opened a lot of people's eyes to think, well, maybe it's not a bad idea just to cull a load of studios off that aren't doing what we, you know, making us the money. You know, it's very business-like, and, you know, they could have carried on making Guitar Hero, and, you know, at the end of the day, you could subsidise that money from, say, something like World of Warcraft that makes fucking stupid amounts of millions and millions and millions every month. And, you know, just to fucking keep Guitar Hero going, do you know what I mean? I mean, you could do that, but that's not how they do business, I'm guessing. So Tony Hawk, not at all surprised at, if I'm honest with you.
No, neither am I.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you know,
they were charging £100 for that skateboarding peripheral as well.
Exactly, just buy a fucking skateboard, it's cheaper.
Exactly.
No, but seriously, though, you know, it's a good point to make. You know, when your fake thing costs more than a real thing, maybe you should just go with a real thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just stop living in the 90s.
Yeah, true. I mean, you know, Tony Hawk was popular. It did do really well to begin with back in like last gen, but this gen it's really struggled to kind of make the money. And I every time they go, oh, there's a new Tony Hawk game coming out, I'm like, really? They haven't cancelled that yet, you know. So it's not surprising that DJ Hero, once again, kind of not surprising because although it does have its followers and it's not as bad as some people make it out to be, it's still, you know, the entry fee to play that is quite high. You know, you know, do you know, if I'm perfectly honest with you, I think there will be a Guitar Hero revival at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've not turned around and said Guitar Hero is dead. They've pretty much said it's all been put on hold. There won't be one this year. There won't be DJ Hero. There will be no more DLC for the foreseeable future. I mean, maybe they've turned around and said, yeah, it's definitely not gonna. We're not going to be digging it up from the grave in a year or two time. But like, you know, I don't think there's not been a perfectly succinct statement saying it's definitely never going to come back. So it could be one of those things where
they've rebranded it. They take the time to try and make something new.
Maybe, you know, maybe they're just going to do it, like work on it behind closed doors, get a company to kind of do something with it and
reboot it.
Yeah, I can see a Guitar Hero reboot, but I can see it not happening for a few years.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Just like the way they brought the Whisper back. That was brilliant.
What a great comparison. So and Whispers are quite expensive for what they are. So
Whisper Gold are better, aren't they?
Anyways, right. Well, I think we can wrap this up now. I think a lot of people may tend to Rock Band. A lot of people may not bother anymore. A lot of people. I mean, at the end of the day, you can still play Guitar Hero. You still have the games; they're still there. The DLC that's currently available probably will still be there to download and pay and make money from. But there isn't going to be anything new. But that's my thoughts on it. So, anything else to add? Been good.
Well, I've got one thing to add. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier.
Go ahead.
But Farmville can kiss my ass.
Yeah. So good time. It's been good. It's been good talking to you. It's been good having you on the show. And it's good. Also great to hear your points of view on this matter. We figured we'd do a slightly different episode this week because there's a lot to talk about here, and it has been a bit too serious in places.
Yeah,
we've actually made some good points, which is unlike us.
I know. I'm going to have to go have a shower because I feel dirty.
That's right. Yeah, fair enough. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be talking about the rest of the news that's happened this week. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. Many thanks to Darrell for joining us for that section of the show. And now we're just going to talk about what news has been.
The other news.
The other news, yeah.
Further news.
So, what you got?
Well, carrying on with the Activision. Bizarre Creations, bought by Activision a little while ago. They did Blur,
Project Gotham Racing.
Well, they did that with Microsoft, but they did that. They did Geometry Wars, and they did Bond, Bloodstone.
Was it the latest one?
Yeah.
The
one that
they did a
so
Dreamcast game as well, and I forget what it was.
Yeah.
So it was a racing game.
Yeah. But basically, they announced like a month ago. Activision announced that they were up for sale, and nobody bought them. So they're now. This is their last month. They'll be shutting their doors. Another casualty of the Activision cull.
Does not stop.
No. It's harsh.
Oh, well, we've talked enough about that this week. So onwards and upwards.
Happy news. Happy news.
Yeah, go on.
Double Fine.
Yep.
They did stacking recently, which I played.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that. It was pretty cool.
It is cool.
All right. I mean, I don't think I'll buy it, but
No, they do funny games. They do cool little games and whatever.
Most recent, probably most famous for like Psychonauts.
They did Brutal
Legend.
Yeah, and they did
Costume Quest.
Halloween. Thank you. My brain's just completely screwed at the moment.
I'm on the ball today.
Yeah, they got a new title coming out for Connect.
Yep.
Sesame Street.
Say what?
Sesame Street.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You should have heard me. You were the one who told me.
I heard about this earlier.
I have to admit, when I heard Sesame Street game, I thought, yeah, fair enough. It's kind of, especially in America, it's like a cultural thing.
But this is the thing. If you put it in this way, it just kind of gets weirder. Sesame Street. Okay, cool. Connect. Oh, okay. Double Fine. What?
Yeah, Double Fine isn't like the first developer I've named to do it.
The thing is, if you kind of look at their style and you can kind of see it fits in a way.
Oh yeah, like I said, it wouldn't be like
you really think about it.
The first developer that popped into my head, but knowing their games and knowing
they could make it work.
Yeah, I have full confidence that they could make a good game out of it. And who doesn't love Sesame Street?
True. I mean, they may have to like tone down some of the fighting and stuff, but maybe
the homoeroticism.
But it's cool. I mean, it's for. Obviously, there's no real details about the game as such, other than they're making it and it's for Connect, and what that is going to be.
I imagine it'll probably be for the kids.
I presume so,
because I don't think they're going to let us punch the count.
No, as much as you may want to. So. Interesting news.
Interesting news.
It's not what I expected to read today.
There have been some screenshots, and it looks all right. I mean, most games nowadays. I mean, it's going to be. I'm intrigued.
It's pretty funny. I mean, I know the last two games they've really put out have been arcade titles, but I mean, stacking just came out.
Yeah.
And now to hear that they're working on something else so soon is like
okay.
Well, I think we reported earlier, or I spoke about it like last year. They kind of like have a history of just focusing on one game and releasing that one game, then moving on to the next.
Which is probably the best way.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I'm saying is Stacking's just come out.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem there's no plans for support after the fact that it's new DLC or whatever.
They have said they're like opening up and working on like slightly smaller games simultaneously. So this could be just like another one. I think they said they were working on about 5 games. So we've had Costume Quest, we've had Stacking, we've got this. So I think they're probably working on another 2 titles. Probably arcade games again. But
who knows?
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham City.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Yeah. Do you know I'm looking forward to it?
Was it top of your most anticipated? Yeah, no, that was
number 2.
It was number 2. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, it was number 2. Basically, when it first came out, there's this whole big thing of like multiplayer, co-op. What's happening with it? Ooh, awesome! Lots of people liked it. Lots of people didn't. They've now confirmed that there is going to be no multiplayer.
Right.
It's strictly a single-player game.
Okay.
Which, if you ask me, fucking godsend.
Right.
Seriously.
Yes, I mean, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, obviously, multiplayers sometimes can be amazing, but most of the time I just tacked on.
Yeah, I mean, if you,
it takes a lot of resources away from the single player.
Yeah, and if you're a pretty big studio and you have a great big budget behind you, you can probably pull off a multiplayer as well as a good single. I mean, Dead Space 2.
Yeah,
they have a
fairly well. Yeah, the multiplayer's not perfect, but you know. It's their first try.
But still, they managed to get a good single-player campaign out of it, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as well.
Yeah, that's another one, yeah.
That's another one to pull it off. Rocksteady, as far as I'm aware, is quite a small development company, even though they've got lots of resources because of how successful...
they have a hell of a lot of funding behind them, but still.
I think it's going to be better that they're channeling that all into a single-player game to make the single-player game amazing.
I mean, at the end of the day, most of the people who are probably looking for this game probably aren't that fussed about multiplayer. And they're probably just like you and probably thinking, great, you know?
Yeah.
I'll get a better single-player campaign out of it, and, you know...
Absolutely. And I think their main criticism for the first game, well, it wasn't even criticism, it was just that when they were like getting feedback for the next game, it was basically just carry on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I think with this news, it means that they are doing that. They're just focusing on making a great game. So
excellent. That's good news.
I'm excited. Yeah. Another one of my anticipated games, well, my most anticipated game, Mass Effect 3.
Yes.
For the first 2 installments, had an epic soundtrack by Jack Wall, The Wall of Sound. He doesn't look like he's doing the third one.
Okay, has there been any kind of statement put out as to why not?
No, but apparently, well, I say apparently, it's confirmed now that Clint Mansell, who did the scores for Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He is now taking over. Now, you saw Black Swan with your missus, didn't you?
Yeah, there's some fucked up shit.
Yeah. But did it have a good soundtrack?
The score. It was okay. Yeah. I mean, I think here's the thing, not to get too kind of film school on your ass, but they often say a good score is one that you don't notice.
Yeah.
That fits with the visuals perfectly, then you don't notice that it's there.
Yeah.
They're not two separate things. And for the most part, I don't think I really noticed the score. So it's either really, really like subtle or just perfect for the piece. So
I think it sort of helps if like say you don't notice it, but you become more invested in it.
Yeah,
where you're quite drawn into the film.
It's another tool to tell a story or help to tell a story. Yeah, and set moods and things. I mean, we've seen a lot of these. It's quite interesting. Actually, we've seen a lot of these kind of film composers move into video games. I mean, you know, Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 have had, you know, I mean, you know, well, actually with Black Ops, we've had bloody David S. Goyer, who's like a producer and director, help with that, making that, and it just goes to show like video games are, you know, taking a little bit more seriously as an art form these days.
Yeah, and
people do want to, not just because there is money in it, but you know, part of it is probably because you know the companies have more money to spend on this kind of thing. Games cost a fortune to make these days compared to how they used to.
Yeah,
but part of that also means that they can afford to, you know, hire talent.
Yeah, and Clint Mansell's work is really sort of haunting and amazing.
So
I mean, I've heard some of his stuff.
Is it? I mean, do you think this game is going to be this change in composers is going to make a massive difference?
That's what I mean. I hope that he kind of sticks with the sort of 80s pulp, sci-fi, space opera feel of it. He doesn't change or deviate too much from what's gone before. Because if it's like a completely...
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, if it's completely different, I think it'll affect it maybe negatively. But hopefully, I have faith in BioWare. They wouldn't have got him on board to do it if they didn't think that he could make a good job and make the game as the best it could be.
Interesting.
So,
well, obviously, I think until there's some trailers and other trailers and gameplay and the game actually comes out, we're not really going to be able to tell. But
I am also a big fan of Jack Wall's work, because I think the score for Mass Effect 2 is probably one of my favourite soundtracks for a game, apart from Red Dead Redemption. But no, it's good. It's good news.
Awesome.
Now, the game you're looking forward to, Crysis 2.
Oh, is this the part of the show where I go, arr?
Arr. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It took a minute.
Pirate alert.
Yeah. When's it coming out? It's March 22nd?
March 25th, 28th, depending on where you are. I think it's basically the end of... EA have got this thing about the 25th, because it's kind of when January 25th, Dead Space. February 25th, Bulletstorm. March 25th, Crysis 2. Unless you're a pirate.
Yeah, in which case you're already playing it.
Probably. Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'll take over the story if you like, because I did read about this when it happened last week. Yeah, there's been this thing about games leaking really early. Obviously, we do mention some piracy stories here and there. When Halo Reach, I think, back in the day, when I say back in the day, it was only a few months back, but that leaked early. We reported about that, but Crysis 2, it's well over a month away, a good 5 weeks away from it coming out, and a beta code, a beta version of the
sort of
game,
an incomplete build. I think,
an incomplete build has leaked onto the internet, and people have been playing it on the old PC. I mean, it's only full PC. Apparently, from what I read, it's single player only, no multiplayer, and it's incomplete, and so I don't see why people are bothering if it's incomplete build. I mean,
no.
Where's the fun in that anyway?
Crysis was huge, and there are people who just can't wait for more.
I think it's one of those things that, if you're a pirate and you kind of download games and stuff, and you get, look how early I got this.
I think what's pissing everybody else and what's disappointed the devs the most is that people who have played this, or people who have downloaded it and playing it, are like posting vids on YouTube and stuff of like quite big spoiler points.
That's going to happen. I mean, your game leaks, that's pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah, but no, it's a bit gutting, really.
Yeah, well,
you think all that work and all that thing to build something, and it's still so far away. At the end of the day, I mean,
I'm excited for Crysis 2. I want to play it, and I'm going to wait till it comes out and get it. And I'm not going to bother looking online for spoilers and stuff. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, I think really if they're downloading an incomplete build anyway, they're probably just spoiling it for themselves. But hey, but also tied into this story, Killzone 3 has leaked about 2 weeks early online now, because obviously we've been talking about a lot lately about the PS3 and how it's been jailbreaked and cracked and hacked and all this shit. And obviously now the games are available to download online and things like that, so people who have these hacked PS3s can play the games. Killzone 3, it's leaked 2 weeks before its release date, and just quite mad, really.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. I mean,
like you said, Killzone 3, I think, is probably the Sony equivalent of the Halo series. It's kind of what they're trying they're trying to contend with, and it's kind of leaked at about the same time before release as Halo did. So I think that sort of thing is
almost to be expected. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but still,
it's been a mad week for pirates. Arr.
Arr, arr.
Anyway,
back to happier news.
Okay.
I'm kind of trying to do happy, depressing news.
Got you.
But you have an Apple TV, don't you?
I do, actually, yes.
I love your Apple TV. Good. My girlfriend loves your Apple TV. We want to get one.
Yes.
But
It's very good. It's very good for obviously watching stuff on, but also podcasts. Very good for podcasts.
Ah, yeah.
You can find us through your Apple TV if you've got one, and listen to us through your home cinema system.
Yeah, you don't have to be so sort of like devious in plugging us. This is our show. We're allowed to plug ourselves.
If you've got an Apple TV, you can listen. You can stream the show through your Apple TV. It's pretty cool.
But also, if rumours are to be believed, soon you might also be able to get games on it.
Indeed. Actually, I think this has been a rumour for quite a long time, but there's now been some kind of not so much evidence to support the fact, but basically the new iteration of Apple TV, the latest one, which is really, really tiny compared to the old version, it contains a lot of the same technology as the iPhone and iPad, same processors and all that kind of stuff. And it's actually quite a powerful device. Despite being so small, it has Wi-Fi built in.
Yeah,
and it has some kind of. It doesn't have any major storage. That's the only thing. So it would be kind of like a streaming gaming service, or everything's stored up in the cloud or whatever, But but at the end of the day, the only thing that I think, I'm guessing if this goes ahead, you are going to have to buy some kind of controller for it, because the Apple Remote isn't exactly built for playing games with. Excuse me, but it'd be really interesting. Sorry about that. Apologise.
That's how excited you are.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's a little guess.
It sort of seems...
It's the way that everything's going. And with Apple's devices, there's lots of games out for Apple devices, and they're really, really popular. And it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show about how these casual games are kind of taking over a little bit. And,
This is what I mean, because obviously we talked about Nintendo saying that their biggest threat in the handheld market is Apple and the iPhone.
Yeah.
That's because Apple, they're kind of not devious, but kind of very subtle with it. They kind of snuck it in there, like not marketing it as a technology for games.
No.
But then kind of like sneak it in.
But by the way, it plays games.
Yeah.
And look how fucking well it does it.
Yeah. And sort of sneaking it in afterwards. It's the same with this.
It's like not this is a PlayStation phone or whatever.
Yeah, we've got you this. Try and get in your home. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it plays games as well.
I think recently there was this kind of it's this study where they got a bunch of people together and said, get rid of your cable box, your home, whatever it is you usually watch TV on, and they gave them different systems like PS3 and Xbox. There's Apple TV, the Boxy Box thing, and a bunch of other different devices to watch movies and TV shows with. And Apple TV wasn't one of the most popular ones. I think it was probably 360 or something. And I think they're probably doing a lot more to kind of push it. I mean, it's a device that's only around £100 now, and it is affordable, and it's a lot of technology packed in there, and there's absolutely no reason why that they couldn't do it. And quite some time ago, when the Apple TV 2 came out or was announced, there was the rumor that it was going to support games, and maybe that's something they didn't have ready for launch. Who knows? But
Apple,
I'll be interested to see it. I'd probably use it as a gaming device.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, Apple is becoming it's kind of really getting into the gaming market, obviously with the iPhone, but also the Mac as well. I mean, another game I'm excited about, Dragon Age 2. That's coming out. It's not hugely popular, widely known about, but it's being released simultaneously on the consoles, on the PC, and on the Mac.
Yeah.
Which is...
A lot of that's down to EA, because EA have really pushed for more Mac support. I know Dead Space 2, I think you can get on Mac as well.
Yeah. But normally, like a lot of games, there's normally a little wait before it gets transferred over to the Mac. But the fact that it's probably quite a big game now. Lots of people love the first one, and this is... I think they're going to be pushing it a lot.
Yeah.
So the fact that a big sort of AAA title, which I think this is, you might disagree. Not like Dragon Age, but the fact that it's getting that immediate Mac support there, and
gaming is way more popular on Apple devices these days, and that's safe to say. And Apple TV is kind of the odd one out that doesn't have games.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an entertainment device that plays you. It does it pretty much everything else, like movies, TV shows. It streams stuff off YouTube. You can see your photos and stuff on there. You can watch podcasts.
I think
it does everything really, other than play games.
Yeah. I think obviously if they get the games on it, I think what I like most about it is Like Xbox, PlayStation is like, oh yeah, these are games consoles, but they do all this other thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Apple is kind of like the opposite. It does all this. And it plays games, kind of like sneaking the games in there.
I mean, it probably will be an expensive thing to get games for, and like I say, there's no real storage as far as on the actual device itself. But who knows? I mean, maybe it's something you download through iTunes and store on your hard drive, and it just streams it over from your computer. Who knows?
I mean, a lot of people, I think, would have external hard drives for it anyway, for like storing films and stuff to run through it. So it's not that big of a stretch.
I'm interested if this goes ahead. I mean, the rumour's been around for a while. There's now been new evidence to support the rumour. A lot of, it's been leaked somehow that it's going to have games. So,
and if it takes off, it could mean in the next generation to come that Apple's a pretty big contender.
Indeed. The contender that Nintendo are shitting themselves about.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And maybe for good reason. Maybe this is just a sign of things to come.
Pretty much. Awesome.
Anyway, that is the news.
We'll report back on that one. I mean, that I'm interested in, because obviously I don't have to. We'll see how it goes. But, we'll keep you updated on that one. But that's it. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the show. It's been pretty epic. Thanks to our special guest, Darrell Pringle, for...
Oh, should I just say this week's releases? Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Yeah, that's it. We'll be talking about it next week.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the only game really coming out this week. Things already out in the States. We're getting it at the end of the week, and we're probably going to play the living pants off of it. So
over the weekend, yep.
Yeah, definitely. So we loved it at MCM. It was probably the biggest surprise for me. Yeah. At MCM. So looking forward to getting hands on with that, the final game, and kicking your ass on it. And so, but also I want to mention, actually, for anyone who wants to hear the full version of our little debate that we had earlier in the show, because we did cut it down, there's an extended version of it, an uncut version on Facebook. If you want to head on over to our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
We have an address, people.
Thank fuck for that. Yeah. So you can now find us facebook.com/Games4all podcast. You can listen to a 35-minute version of our debate. It's just got some extra shit in there that we cut out. What else? We're on Twitter.
Twitter.com/Games4all.
And obviously, which I probably should have mentioned first of all, is the website, www.Games4allpodcast.com,
which has links to Facebook and Twitter and all our shows and videos.
Yeah, everything's pretty much there. So that's pretty much the hub of everything Games for All. So once again, thank you very much for listening.
It's been a pleasure as always, people.
Indeed, and we will be back next week with some awesome news about Marvel vs. Capcom 3, probably.
Yeah, and other stuff.
Yeah, and stuff too. All right, brilliant. Bye.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, please check out our website, www.Games4allpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/Games4all. And you can like us on Facebook. Just search for Games4all podcast. Games4all is brought to you by iPage. For more affordable and greener web hosting, check out iPage.com. Page.com. 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 Page.